information or legal knowledge or legal literacy, so that the elders who make decisions under the tree appreciate that they have to make decisions that are not prejudicial, that are within the laws of Kenya. That has been critical in bridging that divide between the traditional justice system and the legal justice system, if you want to call it that way, in this country. That's critical. Number two is the paralegal support provided to accused persons who are in custody in our prisons. We have, the Legal Resources Foundation has been able to place paralegals in more than 20 prisons across the country over the years. And that has been a critical support, not only in enabling suspects in custody to be able to contact their relatives, but also for them to be able to understand, because most of them are poor. Most of the pretrial detainees in our prisons are from poor backgrounds. People, most of them, who can't afford a lawyer because they can't afford a professional fee being asked by lawyers in private practice. Yet the judicial system in this country does not provide free legal aid. The government does not provide free legal aid to most of those suspects in custody. And therefore the LRF paralegals have been critical in helping those in custody to be able to prepare their defense or even to understand the charges before them. Number three, also in prisons, the paralegals have been able to encourage best practices in custody by prison authorities in being able to identify potential areas of human rights abuse and being able to advise the prison authorities to avoid certain practices or to ensure that the minimal conditions required for either hygienic purposes, nutritional purposes are provided to avoid abusing the dignity of people in detention.
LRF is a founding member of the Paralegal Support Network, PASUNE, the umbrella body for all organizations providing paralegal training and services in Kenya. The network currently coordinates the work of more than 800 paralegals in Kenya. LRF paralegals complement the work of court users committees, CUCs, in all the court stations they are based. Paralegals routinely refer specific cases to CUCs for deliberation. Conversely, CUCs may request paralegals to follow up on specific cases that have been brought to their attention. The collaboration between paralegals and CUCs helps increase legal awareness and enhance access to justice. As Kenya continues to institutionalize and actualize a relatively new constitution, the paralegal approach will play a crucial role in raising awareness on the administration of justice.
Every year we have new laws coming into place. So I don't see paralegals being wished away. Actually, paralegals should be embedded within the central criminal justice system, that they become part and parcel of the criminal justice system, so that those who go through that system, whether victims or accused persons, are able to access information on their rights and their responsibilities within the criminal justice system.
We have expanded our paralegal program to ensure that also it is at the region, is that we have been doing exchange programs at the regional level with Rwanda, for example. Recently we had an invitation from the DRC to see how we can be able to advance paralegal advocacy at the regional level. And it is because countries like Rwanda, countries like Uganda, we are more or less at the same level. Of course, Kenya is a bit forward because we already have a legal aid policy that we are pushing towards enactment. In Rwanda, there's a similar process. Of course, in Uganda, there's a similar process. In Malawi, so it is growing in the region. Countries are beginning to realize that paralegals are agents of change. Paralegals are stakeholders in the justice system. They have a special role, a special place. They are more or less very neutral, and they are able to identify and bring to fore cases in real time that can be able to assist the justice agencies, ensure that the administration of justice is not encumbered as it goes forward. We also have Haki Institute, which initially started as an outreach program. So 5 years ago, it was an outreach program, a program that would go forward and capacity build, train individuals, train government agencies who would come and request for training in paralegalism, for example, or training in human rights, constitutional awareness, for example, criminal law, and many others, gender and alternative dispute resolution, and many others. Then in 2009, the idea came that we move it out of an outreach program, from a program, to grow it into an institute. Of course, the idea was that it was becoming bigger, better. The demands were quite high in terms of offering that civic awareness to communities and government agencies and civil society groups. And therefore, the idea to register it came there, and that is the process that we are seeing coming to an end in the next few months. The idea of Haki Institute is to have a portfolio where we have information, archiving of information, capacity building that is centralized at one place, where then we can be able to track its successes, who it has influenced in the past, and be able to build an alumni of individuals that support the Haki establishment in terms of the growing as an institution. We also look at it as a research engine. So we will move our research program into Haki. Haki is supposed to be able to do research work that can assist think tank groups into marshalling an idea that then they can use to profile and build change in the community. We look at also Haki as a way in which it will streamline our information management programs and be able to be a one-stop shop where individuals can be able to get into a portal, and they can be able to harvest information. Researchers, for example, civil society groups would want to research on information on access to justice.
The Haki Institute is really, really key for us in the new strategic plan. We've started rolling Haki Institute virtually, but in the strategic plan we are imagining it as a real physical center which provides services to different organizations.